This is KALISTA, and this is me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Okay, chill the fuck. Let's be real. KALISTA is a mechanical nightmare. She's stuck in a cycle of being balanced for pro play and nerfed into oblivion for us mere mortals. Right now, she's basically in solo queue gutter, and over the years it's been only getting worse. I mean, Riot was still nerfing her when she had literally 0% win rate at MSI, so actually learning and winning with her is pain in the ass. But it's not impossible. I have around 3 million points on KALISTA and picked 400 LP. Over the years I've learned this champion in and out, and it lets me do silly stuff like this while chilling. But it wasn't always so easy. Learning process was excruciating and I wanted to give up way too many times. So to save others from the misery, I compiled my years of experience into 5 simple things that I wish I knew before I started learning KALISTA myself. If you follow even half of those things, you'll improve way faster instead of wasting hundreds of hours pointlessly. And people might not flame you after the game. So the first advice I have, don't play KALISTA. Now I know, you wanna learn her and I'm literally telling you not to even pick her up, but there's actually a reason behind it that will make the learning process fuck ton easier and you'll understand why in a moment. So, what do I mean by not picking her? KALISTA is extremely demanding when it comes to mechanics, moving and kiting. Even attacking is different from every other champion. Her jumps are chaotic and require way more mouse precision than most ADCs since you jump by more or less fixed value in a direction, so you can't choose how much you move. That makes the where you jump a lot more important. On top of it, she's more messed up than mentality of League players. At any point you can get a bug and jump into entire enemy team, so you really need to know your shit when it comes to clicking and positioning. I'm done. I fucking jump bug away from them. And the best way to do it is to first play champions whose core identity is kiting and positioning, but without having to use 1000% of your brain for 1% value. For that, I recommend Ashe and Twitch. Those are the most, I wanna space glide champions with zero mechanics. They are perfect for really getting hang of kiting and positioning at high attack speed. And the proof of that is that I hit 500,000 points on Ashe by the time I picked up KALISTA again, and it made me do some crazy shit. So all you have to do is to literally play some games or spam practice tool with different attack speed points and get as clean with kiting as possible. But if you, let's say, I don't know, wanna get even better mechanically, then I highly recommend Skill Gap. It's free, it doesn't require any friends for practice, and you also don't lose any LP, so you can practice different skills as much as you want, for example dodging, because there is no better feeling than flaming your support knowing full well you dodged everything and it's them fucking up, not you. And if you buy a premium plan, you'll also support me, link in the description. Okay, let's say you already got the hang of mechanical part of ADCs, or you didn't give a fuck, skipped it and decided to just raw dog it. Let's talk about another thing you need. So the issue with playing ADC for the most part, especially if you're low elo, is lack of synergies between the players. Supports usually have their head up their ass and can't see what you're doing, they don't care, and they just int you. And with KALISTA, not only do you not know what you're doing, your support didn't even know your champion existed before the game. They will just have no fucking clue what you're even trying to do. Trying to poke with E, they will kill the exact minion you wanna turn into hedgehog to throw at enemies. You can deal 10% max HP level 2 if you just attack the same target. They won't do it because they are too busy attacking said minion. And the worst one of them all, you aren't subscribed. Wait, no, wrong line. When you ult them, they will get so confused that their brain is gonna get fried and they'll KALISTA ult off the cliff instead of at least sacrificing themselves for a good cause. KALISTA is just the most team reliant champion in the game and there's no way about it. Like, come on, literally half her fucking kit depends on another human, and as we know, we very much lack those in our games. Fucking pro play jail. So to learn KALISTA, for the love of God, find yourself a duo so you don't suffer 100 games with 2% win rate. To learn her limits properly, you just need someone who also knows what the champion does. Without that, you can't even try anything out because you'll be too busy tilting. Now, so far I've talked about issues that are either out of your hand or just take a long time to apply. Well, learning KALISTA will take a long time, but now I'll talk about something that you can do to start improving immediately. Because the next problem is something that a lot of people do wrong in general, but with KALISTA it becomes a fucking disaster. Imagine you get into a game, you make runes, maybe even look them up. Then as the game starts, you play a bit and eventually you recall. You alt tab to check what to buy next or browse the shop to build optimally. You have no fucking clue. Then, as the game progresses, you question yourself what the fuck to buy next. Some silly build website is telling you to go Witsend while enemy has 0 AP. You start looking for alternatives. And as you finally build something, you get absolutely lost in how to play, how much your E deals damage, and end up being useless anyways. That's why one of the biggest issues is overthinking different builds. It's bad enough with normal champions. When a champion is flexible, it's awful. And when your champion relies on knowing the exact damage output or else you become useless, you get the point. There are just too many options for an average player. And with KALISTA it counts as double because you legit have to use 1000% of your brain just to fucking survive and maybe deal some damage. And as I mentioned before, you might just get confused with your E damage and all the potential muscle memory will go to shit. You simply cannot get the hang of extremely difficult mechanical champion if you're also busy going out for shopping for your first deodorant. It will ruin your focus. All of it means one thing. Stick to one fucking build. It's this simple. Don't think about itemization, just get yourself one build with max 1 or 2 small changes and that's it. And by small changes, I literally mean the difference in defensive items. But if you already know a bit more and want to expand on itemization, check out my item guide. Okay, build done, inting support done, and you know how to kite. I hope. One of the biggest mistakes player can make, and it's honestly something that appears even in Diamond Plus. So you watch all those challenger players. They just go in, do some silly things, and get a kill. I said, get a kill. Then you queue up and try doing exact same things as they did. And what happens? 80% of the time you end up dying like an idiot and get flamed. And of course the main reason is because they are just better and you suck. But it's not just about mechanics. That's why my next advice is, chill the fuck down. Like, really, you don't have to go in 24/7. Because KALISTA traits are in general weird and require a lot of knowledge on matchups and knowing your max potential. For example, hair attacks. They lock you in place, giving enemy free time to poke you. Because unlike other ADCs, you can't cancel your auto attack. So if you don't know what you're doing, you will just get punished like crazy for even farming at the wrong moment. It's not Season 5 where you can flash into assassin and kill them without consequences. So listen carefully. If you really don't see any openings and you're not in your limit testing phase, you shouldn't force unnecessary fights. KALISTA in the early game just isn't as strong as she used to be. So instead relax, poke as much as possible, and try using your ult to create an opening instead. And when I say relax, I mean it because it applies to my next point as well, and you'll see why. Because now the last thing, something simple that everyone who tries picking up shit like KALISTA just needs to hear. So you see those psychopaths that constantly do insane APM plays, doing double jumps, cancel mechanics, all that shit? Yeah, I know, it looks impressive. And we all wanna do it. Because of course the top players do it, so it must be super important. But for the love of God, don't start with it. Because as I said before, challengers are pushing the limits of everything. But they do it only after they already learned everything else. And for you, learning niche mechanics is not only difficult, but also takes a lot of time that you could spend learning simpler skills that actually do matter. Like, sure, you can do some fancy double jump, but you're gonna end up doing it like once a game and it probably won't even make any difference. And I'm saying it from my own experience. I've spent hours trying to figure out different tricks I could do. How to double jump, how to jump impossible walls, how to touch grass and talk to people, just for me to use it all as often as average league player uses deodorant. So instead of trying to impress your non-existent friends, just be smart about it. Get the hang of the basics first. Trust me, it will actually improve your skills by a ton. Why? Because learning how to position yourself for 10 hours will do a lot more than a single double jump per game you're practicing for 20 hours. Just to do it inconsistently anyways. And if you wanna learn even more, you can always come say hi on my Discord server and maybe get a coaching. So remember guys, chill, find friends, don't try to be fancy, and really learn how to fucking kite. That's all for today. Thanks, bye!